Problem number 3. Find the rate of change. We need the two ordered pairs. Alright, so we look at our function notation. My two ordered pairs are negative 2, 4, and 4, 8. Find the rate of change. I'm going to subtract my y's and then put that over subtraction of x. So delta y over delta x. So subtract my y values, and again it doesn't matter what order as long as you're consistent. So if I go 4 minus 8, that's cool. I'm just going to have to subtract the x's in the same way. Negative 2 minus 4. So that's going to be a negative 4 over a negative 6, and that reduces to 2/3. My rate of change is 2/3, also known as my slope. Okay, we're asked to use this point in point-slope form. So this is my first x, and this is my first y. So we go in point-slope form, which again is in your notes, better yet, memorized. So here we go, we have regular y, that is the variable, minus the y that we know, which is 4, is equal to our slope, which is 2/3, parentheses, and we do x minus, and my x value is a negative 2, and you know I don't want negative or double signs, so that's actually going to be adding a positive. So that's point-slope form. Slope-intercept form, we'll now take this starting point, y minus 4 is equal to 2/3, x plus 2, we'll distribute and get 2/3 x plus 4/3, and then to solve for y, all we need to do is add 4 to both sides. It's a 0 pair, y is equal to 2/3 x, and remember 4, this is 1 1/3, so 1 1/3 plus 4 is 5 1/3. And to go improper fractions all the way, that's going to be 16/3. So slope-intercept form is y is equal to 2/3 x plus 16/3. So now we're going to take this and go to standard form. Okay, standard form, we cannot have any fractions, so look at your denominators. What are your denominators? They're all 3, so we're going to multiply everything by 3. So that's a 3y. 2/3 of 3 is 2 in front of the x. And if I multiply this out, my 3's will cancel, leaving 16. Okay, so now all we got to do is get our x and y value on the same side. So to make a 0 pair for this, I'm going to subtract 2x. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I get negative 2x plus 3y is equal to 16. And now to make the leading coefficient, which is a, to make this positive, just multiply everything by -1. Multiplying by -1 will simply change the sign on each and every one. So a negative times a negative is a positive, a negative times a positive is a negative, and a negative times a positive is a negative. There we go. So standard form is 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 16. Alright, so the x and y intercept, remember standard form is a good quick way to find our x and y intercept. The x-intercept is going to look like some number, comma 0, and my y-intercept is going to look like 0, comma some number. So if I come over here to find my x-intercept, I'm going to plug in a 0 for y. So taking this equation right here, I have 2x plus 3, and I want my y to be equal to 0, is equal to negative 16. Well, this is just totally equal to 0, so I'm left with 2x is equal to negative 16. Divide by 2, x is negative 8. So my x value is going to be a negative 8. So my x intercept is going to be negative 8, 0. Now we're just going to kind of do the converse on this one right here. We're going to start once again with my standard form. We've got 2x, but now we're going to plug in a 0 for x. So 2 times 0 plus 3y is equal to negative 16. That's a 0, so 3y equals negative 16. Divide by 3, y is a negative 16 over 3. So not as quite as nice as the x-intercept, but it is what it is. 16 over 3. And there's problem number 3. Alright, let's do the same thing for problem number 5. Here we go. Find the rate of change. I need my slope, so I need to solve this thing for y. Told you need to solve for y to be successful in the class. Here you go. So I'm going to move my x term to the other side. Make a 0 pair 4y is equal to negative 9x plus 11. And divide by your coefficient of 4. This doesn't come out nice and neat, but who said life is always nice and neat? So my rate of change is the coefficient of x, and that's going to be negative 9/4. So now, continuing on to point slope form, do I now have a point and a slope on this line? It appears that I do. There's the point on the line, there's the slope of the line. Great place to start. Okay, I'm going to plug in, what are we going to plug in for y? 5 is my y, my slope is a negative 9/4, and my x is a negative 1. Oh, double signs. Make that x plus 1, goes a not a lot nicer. And there we go, there's our point slope form. So got to squeeze it in here, y minus 5 is equal to 9/4 quantity x plus 1. If that's a great place to start, we're going to take this now, put it in the slope-intercept form. All we're doing here is we're going to solve this for y. So we're going to distribute our 9/4. 9/4 times x is 9/4 x. And then a negative times a positive is a negative. 9 times 1 is 9 over 4. You multiply by 1, it stays the same. And all I got to do now is add 5. Y is now by itself, negative 9/4 x. And if you use your calculator on this, again, just a quick review on how to use your calculator on this. Negative 9/4, negative 9 over 4. And then we're going to do what? Add 5. So just put plus 5, and then go to your math button. Math. Hit that. And then press enter twice. And you get 11 over 4. Not the neatest, but hey, fractions are our friends. Or at the very least, they're not our enemies. Alright, so there's slope-intercept form. Now standard form, remember we can't have fractions. So let's take this guy right here and get rid of our fractions. Remember what we're going to multiply by? Look at your denominator. Your common denominator is 4. That's what you multiply by. Distribute not once, not twice, but 3 times, and you get 4y is equal to negative 9x plus 11. Fractions are gone. Don't believe me? Put that in your calculator. Alright, move the x to the other side. This one's going to work out nice and neat because my coefficient of x will be positive, and that's what I want. And there you go. Ax plus 4y is equal to 11. Alright, now we can use this to help us find our x and y intercept. Remember the x-intercept is going to be some number comma 0. So let's come over here. 9x plus 4y and put in a 0 for y is equal to 11. That is 0, so 9x equals 11, and divide by the coefficient. So in this particular case, my x-intercept is going to be 11/9, comma 0. And now do the same thing, except switch the places. My y-intercept is going to be 0, comma something. So again, take your standard form right here, and now we're going to plug in a 0 for x. So 9 times 0 plus 4y equals 11. That's 0, so I'm left with 4y equals 11. Divide by the coefficient. Y is 11/4. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, comma 11/4.